guys, welcome back. I just wanted to share real quick with you some teacher gifts for the end of the year. Friday is the kids' last day of school, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money for the teachers' gifts, but I wanted to get them something. So this is what I came up with. I have cards, two cards, one for each teacher, of course. These are from the Papyrus Company. And Ryland's teacher is a guy, so of course he'll get the more masculine card, which is it's actually really cool. And from Bath and Body Works, I've got those little mini hand sanitizers. So each teacher will get two. One says thank you, and the other one is the aromatherapy stress relief, which is a spearmint and eucalyptus scent. I'm sure those teachers are needing some major stress relief by the end of the year. And I also made these little pouches for the hand sanitizer to go in. Just slip it right in there. These I made with a piece of square felt, some hot glue, ribbon, and some little glitter flowers that I had left over from another project. And so that goes in there. And the bottom's actually flat, so you can sit it on a desk or you can just pop it in your bag. So this will go to Escher's teacher. And for Ryland's teacher, obviously he's a guy, so I didn't make those for him. But also in the card will go 5 scratch-off tickets for the California Lottery. These are $1 tickets. And these have been a pretty popular gift. I've done this for the past few years for the kids' teachers. And actually last year, one of the kids' teachers won, I think it was like $30 or $40 from a $1 scratch-off ticket. So yeah, it's pretty fun. And it's just an inexpensive gift for the teachers, and the kids enjoy giving them something, at least to show our appreciation.
So I've just been sitting here working on my iPad. I got ProCreate running. It's a cool little digital painting app. And I have this sketch, and I'll show this time-lapse video here in a second, but I started out with this sketch in my sketchbook, scanned it in, put it into Photoshop and into iCloud, and uploaded this into ProCreate. And once it is in ProCreate, then I can start painting in ProCreate. You can make layers and everything just like Photoshop, but it's just a little bit easier to use than Photoshop. I started this painting just trying to experiment with some of the features. There's so many features in ProCreate, and I'm not going to just show everything here, but I had another version of this painting that I did. It's just kind of a little, not quite as good as what I was looking for. It's a little bit more like smudges and blend modes, and I wasn't totally happy with where this was going, as cool as it might be. So I tried importing my sketch, and I have some layers here that I can turn off and on. The background layer, and this is just my sketch. And once I put on some color, I started putting the color in. This is what it looks like without any lines, and if you add the lines, starts adding more detail, and the background color. So yeah, I've just been playing around with this. I have a long ways to go in learning some digital painting techniques, but trying to get just a little more loose so I can just sketch more and paint more and not spend so much time working on all the little details, and in painting that will come with time, I guess. But I just really wanted to start colorizing some of my sketches and working this all through and figuring out ProCreate as I go. So now I'll play this little video for you so you can see the start to finish.
Here are some bamboo skewers that I'm soaking for a recipe that I'm going to show you for an Indonesian dish called Sate Ayam. It is chicken grilled on a stick, like a kebab. And I'm cutting up the chicken. Steve likes thin strips of chicken that are threaded onto the skewer. Traditionally, it's usually chunks of chicken, like a normal kebab, but in a lot of American restaurants, you'll see it actually as a thin little strip or fillet on the skewer. And I'm making the marinade here. And a trick that I learned a long time ago is that you can buy a big knob of ginger and store it in the freezer and just peel and grate as you need it and then stick it back in the freezer, and it's good for a long time.
It's charging from the thing.
So in it
cool.
This is the marinade. I'll put ginger into the chicken. No measurements. I'm just eyeballing everything depending on how much chicken you have. I have garlic powder, or you can use fresh garlic. Give it a quick toss. Pepper. And some seasoned salt. You can use whatever spices or seasonings that you like, but this is what we use. I used brown sugar. Traditionally, you would use Indonesian sauce called kecap manis, which is sweet soy sauce, but I couldn't find it at the grocery store here. I'd have to make a special trip to the Asian store. Oh, and that was a hot sauce, sambal olek. And so instead of the sweet soy sauce, I used teriyaki sauce and brown sugar to make that kind of salty sweetness. And of course the spiciness from the sambal olek. Just thread the skewers. And some of them might require 2 skewers if they're too long, just for better handling. To go with the Sate Ayam, I made fried rice. So you need cold rice that has been made already, and I made it early. I had made it earlier in the day. You saw a picture of that earlier. And you want to start by frying or scrambling some eggs. So depending on how much fried rice you're making, just eyeball it. I used, I think, 3 or 4 eggs. And some oil. Scramble up the eggs. Apparently this is a really important part. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's what my mom told me, so that's what I do. And you do this first. And then once that's done, then take it out of the pan, set it aside, and you'll add it back in later. You could use a wok, but I'm using my trusty cast iron skillet here. A little bit more oil. And add in all the rice. And it is important that it's not freshly cooked rice. It has to be old rice that you cooked the day before, or if you have a bunch of leftover rice from a Chinese restaurant or something, because it needs to be dry. It needs that dryness. And of course, I put seasoned salt on everything, as you'll see in my videos. Garlic salt. You can add whatever spices you want. Pepper. And soy sauce, which makes it brown. And I like it salty, so I added a lot of soy sauce. Give it a good stir. It wasn't salty enough. And I added a whole entire bag of frozen peas and carrots. That's up to you how much you want to add. I wanted to sneak in a lot of vegetables for the kids, so I added the whole bag. And now on to the peanut sauce that is served with the Sate Ayam. And those are the ingredients. It's basically it's a peanut sauce. So I had creamy peanut butter, soy sauce, ginger, garlic, soy sauce, sambal olek, what else did I put? And water to thin it out. And then you just heat it on the stove. And it can be served at room temperature. Then take the chicken to the grill. Gotta have a beer, of course. So this is where it's important that you make sure that your skewers were soaked in water. They still tend to burn. Mine kind of burned off, but that's okay. If you didn't soak them, they would burn to a crisp and there'd be nothing left. This is where you employ your kids to help. Plating up the delicious fried rice. And there's the finished product. Make sure you put lots of peanut sauce on top of that chicken. So right outside of our apartment building, we discovered this downed tree. We have no idea what happened, but it appears that it split in two and fell. Hey guys, welcome back. Just wanted to update you. Today is Monday, and it's the first day of the kids' summer vacation. And then I also got a new plant. It's called a hummingbird plant, and it's supposed to attract the hummingbirds. Oh, it's so bright out here. Let me show you. And it's the one and only live plant that we have in our whole house.
And that's all I remember. It wasn't that important.